Whoa! This thing can corner, man. Having the mirrors like that, the screen, and I don't know, the front of the bike is, I don't know, it's like the MT-09 SP and the Yamaha T-Max, the scooter, had a baby and this is their child. Sounds the same as the MT-09. Does not feel the same as the MT-09. Feels a lot heavier. So modes, you've got mode 1, 2 and 3. I think 1 is the fastest one. Traction control. Traction control, I think it's this one. No. Oh, traction control. 1 and 2 are off. Let's just leave it on 1. Feels a bit taller than the MT-09. And a lot heavier. Come on, mate. That's one way to get on it. Yeah, from behind it looks just like the MT-09. The rear bit and everything else. So what are we gonna do? I'm going into this completely blind. I haven't watched any reviews. I haven't, done any research on it. So let's see how it handles. They're saying it's really good in turns and carving corners and everything else, but yeah, I guess we'll have a look and see. It's still an odd feeling. I don't know. I'm just worried. It'll take me about 10 minutes to get used to it and everything. Just feels weird, man. Just worried I'm gonna fall off. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know, it feels like you're on the MT-09, but it feels a bit weird because it does feel more stable, to be honest. Weird feeling. Yeah, it sounds the same. So basically they've said it's the same engine as the MT-09, the one that I've got. The main difference being they've changed the fuel injection on it because the bike's heavier. They've had to adapt the fuel injection. Transmission is slightly different to the standard one, to the standard MT-09, and they've changed the gearing a bit as well. Now from a mode perspective and everything else, it feels, it's just the same. You've got 3 mode just like you get with the MT-09. You've got traction control, so you've got again 3 modes. You've got it, you can switch it off, you can put it into standard mode or sport mode, so that's gonna dictate the way the traction control intervenes. The weird thing is it's a bit taller than the MT-09, so I can't touch as well, and I'm kind of used to putting my feet down when I stop at the lights. But yeah, cornering, yeah, it feels a lot more stable, to be honest. From a looks perspective, they said that they've adapted it. They took inspiration from a Scorpion when they've built the bike, so I don't know, it does look like a Scorpion now that they've said that. It does feel, if I'm looking up and I'm not looking down, it does feel like an box standard MT-09. It doesn't feel like anything, it doesn't feel like you've got 3 wheels on. But apparently even if you hit potholes and everything, the bike should be a lot more stable. Now what you need to remember with the bike is your wheel isn't centered, so if you get too close to the side of the road, you might hit something. I think it's the perfect bike to get on after you've just crashed yours. It's like having learning wheels on it, just so my wife feels a bit safer. I should get on one of these, to be honest. It has 4 LED lights on the front. Yeah, from behind it looks very, very similar to the box standard MT-09 because it's got the plate just above the tire, so it has a tire hugger with the plate on. And then even the rear end aesthetically looks, yeah, it looks exactly the same as the MT-09 due to those stoplights. Having the mirrors like that, the screen, and I don't know, the front of the bike, it's like the MT-09 SP and the Yamaha T-Max, the scooter, had a baby and this is their child. So the interesting thing, one thing that I was worried about is when you're cornering, if you've got two wheels at the front, would one of them not lift up if you're leaning too much to the side? And they've said that's not going to happen because of the way the bike's engineered. It's built in such a way that you're always in contact with the ground, so both front tires will always have contact with the ground, with the tarmac at all time, which is, yeah, good, because that was one concern, one worry I had. The screen looks nice as well, very, very similar to what they've done on the MT-09 SP. The mirrors, I'm a big fan of the mirrors, I can actually see out of them properly. Let's see how it handles here. I don't know, it does feel a lot more stable. Again, something else that's different to the standard MT-09, they've said that this will handle a lot better on bumpy roads, so you'll get a lot more stability and traction, and I think this is the perfect road to test it out. I'm sure it wheelies, because I've seen someone pull a wheelie online. I've seen a picture and someone was pulling a wheelie on it. Let's just hope that I'm not going to go down, because my wife is going to murder me, man. Plus there's loads of trees around here. Just slow it down a bit, give myself some space. Definitely got more stability. It's a lot better. And it does feel a lot better on bumps as well. On the regular bike, so on two wheels, whenever you hit the bump or, I don't know, some obstruction on the road, it kind of, the bike's a bit more slippery, it might like jump off to one side or the other. So with this one, it just stays put on the ground. You do feel the bump and everything the same way. Okay. What I do think though, I think this bike is a nightmare to filter with. Must be. Slightly taller than the standard 09. If something happens, I don't know, you need to stop suddenly and then put your feet down. Yeah, so I fully extended my leg and I'm not touching. Well, on the standard 09 I am. These are sort of proper bad, bumpy, potholey, twisty roads with no road markings either. Let's see. Best place to fall down. At least I've got my gear on this time. Oh yeah, if the lovely lady at the registration point is watching, thank you for your gloves. Basically, I got to the spot, get out the car, get all my gear and everything, walk up to register and put my name down for everything, and I realized I didn't take my gloves with me, which was not good, man. Not good at all. And they didn't have any spare gloves either, so this lady at the front that was taking registrations and everything, she's like, well, look, I'll give you mine, I don't mind. Thank you. Saved my life, man. Well, not really, but it would have been a wasted trip, so thank you. Very kind of you. I'll remember it and make sure I pass the favor on to someone else if they ever need a spare pair of gloves to borrow. Yeah, so you've got gravel. I'm sure you're gonna slip on gravel, so let's not push the limit. But yeah, I don't know, it feels more stable. I must give you that. Exhaust keeps popping. But I don't know, who is this bike for? Well, I commute quite a lot, and I'd be tempted to say it's not the bike for me. It would be alright if I'd live in a more remote part of England, maybe not going into London and everything. Oh, this is slippery. Maybe not going into London and all that, because it's great to commute on if you're on the motorway and then get to a small town, you get to wherever you need to get to, and that's about it. But the fact that you need to get into London and then filter through cars and everything, I think it's a bit more difficult on this one. Now, if you're at the moment, and this is just advice, yeah, my opinion, personal opinion, so do whatever you want to do. But if you get into London on a GS or on like a bigger bike, something a bit bulkier than the MT-09, then I would say you can get this one as well. You've got more stability and control and everything, so yeah, it's worth a shot. Apparently it's an 18 liter, what do you call it, tank, which should last you, in theory, on paper, for 300 miles or 300 kilometers. I don't know, I'll just pop it on the screen. So if you've got an easy commute, no heavy filtering or anything, yeah, get it. I think it's perfect. It's really relaxing. If on the other hand you've got to filter through cars and everything, I think this bike is just a bit too wide, too bulky for it. I would not recommend it. I wouldn't get it for what I need it for. But if you're a heavy commuter, you do a lot of motorway, you get into a small town, I don't know, your office is close to the motorway, I would consider it. Just because you get much better wind protection. I can already, I don't know, we haven't gone hard on it or anything, but my opinion is you get more wind protection, because the dash and the screen on the standard MT-09 is a bit lower than on this one, so that's already helping. And the big improvement, what I keep complaining about my bike, is it has cruise control. So you can activate cruise control, I think, over 30 miles an hour, and you must be in 4th, 5th or 6th gear. So if you're in 3rd, 2nd or 1st, it's not going to work. But as soon as you get it over 30 miles an hour, 50 kilometers an hour, and you hit 4th gear or 5th gear or 6th gear, you can get cruise control to come in, which is really good. That's one thing that I really mind my MT-09 doesn't have, and I really hope Yamaha considers putting that on the MT-09 as well. Well, on all their bikes, because to be honest, with the commuting that I do on the motorway, I'm on the motorway for about 20-25 minutes, maybe half an hour sometimes, and that would be really helpful to have. So if they were to give me cruise control, I'd be a happy bunny, man. Really happy bunny. I don't know, I like it. Yeah, the more I'm on it, the more I'm getting used to it, and the more confident I get. But I shouldn't get too confident, because if you've seen my previous videos, you know what happens. You go down, son, and bite the gravel. But I've hit a couple of potholes up until now, and I must say it's a lot more stable, the bike. I can see this as being a really pleasant drive. Now, from an accessory perspective, the bike comes with a sports seat as well. They didn't have one with them to demonstrate. You get the Acra exhaust, just like you would on an MT-09. Obviously, it's modified and changed for this bike. You get radiator guards, I don't know. You get about 40 or 50 accessories with the bike. So, box standard accessories you get with any bike, you can get them with this as well. After I got my exhaust on my bike, my recommendation would be definitely change the exhaust on the bike. But yeah, you do need a different exhaust on it. See, even going over the markings, so you've got these reflective markings in the middle of the road, and they're a bit slippery and bumpy and everything. But as soon as I go over them now, just a different ball game. Okay, dangerous corner, slow down a bit, get ready, look long. Come on, man. Yeah, it does feel nice. It feels a lot more stable. What they were saying at the training thing is that you can actually give it some when you're going into a corner. You can go a bit stronger, a bit harder, and when you come out of a corner, again, you can give it some because you've got more traction, more stability. Again, I wouldn't push it too far, but yeah, feels nice. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's like a pop to it, which I don't get on the standard exhaust. What I'd like to do is maybe take it out for a week or so. Whoa! This thing can corner, man. I was scraping the foot back there. Goes down really well. Sure, you keep the speed limit, don't kill yourself. That would have been funny if I would have crashed again. No, it wouldn't have. I don't want to even joke about it. Yeah, the bike has a lot more stability. And when you put it down, so when you put it at an angle, it really does go down at an angle. I mean, back there where I scraped my foot back, it went straight down, man. Okay, slow down. Do I even need to put my feet down on this? That's the thing, man. That's the funny thing, because I keep putting my feet down when I stop, but I think you can actually keep the bike up without putting your feet down, because you got 3 wheels. Man, I'm so stupid. So let's see if you can stay on the bike without putting your feet down. You should be able to. I mean, why? Look, everyone's trying to put their feet down. Everybody. Can you stay up? I can't stay up. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. No, I can't stay up. Maybe I'm not used to it. I don't know. Maybe you can. My instinct tells me put your feet down. I would really like it if they could give me one of these bikes to keep for a week, just to ride it to work and back. Maybe I would change my mind and I tell you it's a good commuter bike in London as well. But for now, so far, I don't think I can do on it what I do on the MT-09 between cars and everything. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just my personal opinion. It's not as nimble as the MT-09. It's more stable. Maybe it's a lot better in corners as well once you get used to it. It does feel better for wind protection. I mean, I can only feel the wind lightly. So from a wind protection perspective, maybe it's better to commute and everything. I would say stick to the MT-09. If you're commuting in big cities and everything, stick to it. If you need to commute on a road similar to this one, and your office is, I don't know, just on the side, you just stop and get out on the side of the road and your office is there, then it's fine, no biggie. But if you go into London, I would personally say no. If I were to have it for a week and commute on it, maybe I change my mind, but besides that, if you want to feel a bit more secure and more safe on the road, this bike might be the right option. It does feel a lot more stable and safer. The brakes are a lot better, suspension's a lot better. I mean, people say 4 wheels are better than 2. So in this case, I think, again, 3 wheels are better than 2 from a commuting and safety perspective. If you're into racing and all that, obviously, I don't know, MT-09 might be quicker than this. I like the mirrors. I really, really like the mirror. But again, I think they're a pain to filter with. Boom. Bump. Feels really nice in corners and all that. I'm just worried if the back tire slips, because I mean there's nothing to do against it. If it slips, it slips. You can even have 4 wheels. If the rear starts skidding, it is what it is, you're gone, mate. Overall, it's a great experience. Again, if you want something chilled out, can give you some frills as well, buy it. Engine wise, as I said, they took the engine from the MT-09 and tweaked it. Injection, transmission, gearing. So spec wise, it's more or less the same with a slight difference. So this feels a bit heavier. There's no way around it. Whatever you do to it, it's not going to feel just as fast as the MT-09. But again, from a spec perspective, visit the Yamaha website. You're not going to get any info from me. As I said, I came into this completely blind to the bike. I had no idea. I didn't even know that they took the engine off the MT-09. I just heard it now. Yeah, bumps and everything feels more secure. Normally with a bike, if you're going over a bump, if you jump up and everything, it might tend to wobble a bit, so you lose some stability. With this one, it just goes straight. So from that point of view, it's an amazing ride. If anyone from Yamaha is watching this, I doubt they will. Done a great job. Nice bike, man. Came out with something new. Everyone keeps doing the same thing, and you actually came out with something new. Now, the guys also mentioned that they've been working on this since 2007, I believe. So it took them quite a few years to finish up the bike and get it road legal and all that, but yeah, they've done a great job. And I think initially on the initial designs, the forks were on the inside and the tire was on the outside. But what they've done, they've changed it up in the road version, and they've got the tires. So they've got the tires on the inside of the fork, and the shocks are on the outside, as you can see. That's mainly to do with stability and cornering and everything else. Because if you were to keep tires on the outside, then obviously the bike would be a lot wider. Cornering wise, it would be a bit more difficult. Anyway, just to finish it up, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos. I'm trying at the moment to come out with new videos every Friday. I try not to talk about the same thing, shouting at people, pulling out on me. I try not to do that. I think it's annoying to watch people doing that. And I try to come out with nice and interesting content all the time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. New videos coming out every Friday. Thank you to everyone who subscribed so far. Really, really appreciate it. It's fun knowing that actually someone wants to see the stuff that I put out, even though I consider it to be very average content, hence the name of the channel. Leave a comment. I'd appreciate to answer any questions that you have. Why I ride like an idiot, why I'm so, I don't know, why I keep falling off my bike all the time. Look long. Yeah, corners really nicely. So yeah, leave a comment, leave a like. I'd gladly have a conversation with anyone in the comment section. If you want to hate, do that on a different channel. And peace out, people. Yeah, if you can get it out on a test, I'd recommend you do it. It's a fun bike to ride. And that being said, until the next one. Yeah. What did he do? He's in trouble. Thank you.